for all the examples we've seen. Him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali, for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Some people will say, you know, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talking about anything that wasn't out there. He would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he, and they were large bets. And so some people say, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his...
Once hailed as one of the wealthiest figures in sports, Floyd Mayweather now faces a sharp decline. The boxing community expresses both sorrow and frustration as legal issues mount. He could also face a lawsuit from Manny Pacquiao over his recent remarks about their fight.
Well, when I call him sick, I'm not afraid to say what I feel. They're in their underwear in grandmother's basement or wherever the freak they are, taking pot shot at people because of their misery, because of their misfortune, because they're in a bad place. Shame on you. And shame on the people out there. I know that there's some of them. Everyone knows I don't really read that internet unless somebody shows me specifically some stuff. And I saw some of the stuff. I didn't want to see any more, so I told them, don't show me anymore. But I saw enough to see what was out there. People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point. And now they're taking shots at him. Like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of it.
It has emerged that Mayweather's enormous wealth may be exaggerated, with reports citing liens, foreclosures, debts, and leveraged assets, such as property and a private jet, with creditors reportedly chasing him over unpaid jet fuel. Additionally, Mayweather stirred controversy with his remarks about the Manny Pacquiao fight, claiming it was merely an exhibition despite accepting a professional fight advance, potentially placing him in breach of contract.
In an interview, said that it was an exhibition, that these guys didn't have anything to prove, that their legends were already set in stone, and that it would be an exhibition. He wasn't sure if it was going to be at the Sphere. Apparently, that is not true. According to a Boxing Scene article that interviewed Jaz Mathur, the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, said that, yes, the fight is contracted for the Sphere, booked at the Sphere, scheduled at the Sphere for September 19th. It is booked as a professional fight, not as an exhibition. It was never booked as an exhibition, which makes sense because Netflix got behind it, and I would assume that they would not want an exhibition. We said the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, we said that this fight has to be a real fight and not an exhibition because, one, Netflix is involved, two, Manny Pacquiao wants that get back, and two, also just betting line.
On Twitter, Mike Carpenter highlighted Floyd Mayweather's controversial remarks, noting that they directly contradicted Netflix's official announcement, and he could breach his contract if he insists on calling it an exhibition. Wade Plemon added that after accepting signing and advance payments for a professional fight, Mayweather labeling it an exhibition suggests he is attempting to deceive Netflix and Manny Pacquiao's team. Previously, Mayweather reportedly pulled a similar stunt with the Logan Paul fight, pre-selling it using another's name and likeness for $10 million in cash.
One person saying, this is a real fight. You got the promotion saying, this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, But paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe
Teddy Atlas described the situation as truly unfortunate, explaining that athletes sometimes don't have the right guidance to manage their finances. That appears to be exactly what happened in Floyd Mayweather's case.
And then everything they took the risk for sometimes is lost. Whether it was Joe Louis, whether whoever, it never becomes not sad or unfortunate to hear. Never. It's look, you could say it's their responsibility. It is. It is. You got to know what's going on. But there are also sharks in this business, in any business. And sometimes these athletes, I wouldn't even specify fighters. We're talking about fighters. But you hear it in football, Bud. You were around it. You hear it in basketball. Sometimes these athletes, they don't have the right people around them to look out for them. To properly
Jonah Resnitz, a controversial businessman and close associate of Floyd Mayweather Jr., is often described as a key figure in managing Mayweather's post-boxing business and real estate ventures. Fight Opinion on X reports, many of Pacquiao's team are threatening litigation against Floyd Mayweather over the Sphere fight on Netflix. That isn't the only legal threat facing Floyd or his top associate, Jonah Resnitz. Jonah was once facing prison, but now there's a new development. Manny Pacquiao insists it's a legitimate fight and refuses to take part in an exhibition. Since Floyd has signed the contract, he must compete professionally as Manny demands a sanctioned bout.
A real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight. Okay. Yeah, because I know he said
I want to
those
fight.
things.
I want to fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas.
That's the contract that he signed. I mean.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan points out that Floyd Mayweather spent more than a decade as arguably boxing's biggest American star. He defeated Manny Pacquiao in 2015 in what was the richest fight at the time, displaying exceptional defense, lightning-fast hands, and the money-May persona that propelled both his fame and fortune.
Definitely did. It would have been an interesting fight had he fought Pacquiao when he was younger, in his prime. It would have been a very different
Would have been
fight.
a more interesting fight.
Much more different.
Because
Much more difficult
any
fight.
go-forward physical warrior like Pacquiao is going to wear down.
Right, exactly.
And any brilliant counterpuncher like Floyd is going to retain more.
Yeah.
So he did.
Yeah, it would have been much more interesting when they were younger. Also, the fact that Pacquiao fought him with a bum shoulder. That was a disaster, too.
Money talks.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess he was faced with this thing, legacy, it was the biggest pay-per-view of all time in boxing, correct?
Floyd Mayweather has always flaunted his wealth, splurging on luxury watches, flashy cars, and writing enormous checks like $18 million as if money were no object. He consistently displayed his riches, projecting an untouchable image and seeming unconcerned with financial consequences. Yet he has now filed a lawsuit against his former broadcast partner, Showtime, and its ex-president, Steven Espinoza, claiming he is owed $340 million. This legal action underscores the contrast between his public image of endless wealth and the complicated financial disputes behind the scenes, showing that even someone as celebrated and wealthy as Mayweather can face challenges when money, contracts, and obligations collide.
You said I didn't want to say I was active because that's normal. Right. I said I wasn't activated. I knew what I said. So a lot of times I'm like, oh, you didn't say it right. I knew I said it right. I knew what I said. I knew what I posted.
I don't really care how much you make, bro. I feel like writing an $18 million check has to feel some sort of way, though.
That's crazy. I didn't want to do it. Of course, I'm like, who wants to give up basically 20 million?
You wrote 18,180,000,000.00. Like, bro, that's crazy.
I got huge deals on the table, so I'm always making shake.
What's the biggest thing you got working right now?
I can show this. Come here. So come here.
Dude, what is it?
Keep this long. Okay. So
50 Cent has said that many people dislike Floyd Mayweather because of his money-focused fights and his constant talk about wealth. Fans have long wanted to see him fail. Yet Mayweather has turned this animosity to his advantage. Despite the criticism, it drives pay-per-view sales and generates massive earnings, transforming public resentment into profit. His ability to capitalize on both admiration and disdain has made him one of boxing's most financially successful and notorious figures, proving that even criticism can be monetized when paired with skill, confidence, and the money persona that defines his career.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like, the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for, you know.
Max Kellerman explains that fighters like Floyd Mayweather, who spend excessively and fail to make smart investments, often face serious financial problems after their prime. He emphasizes that even athletes earning enormous sums can struggle later if they do not manage their money carefully. Kellerman notes that overspending without planning for the future creates inevitable challenges once one's earning potential declines. He cites Floyd as an example, showing how a lack of financial foresight can lead to legal disputes, mounting debt, and a return to the ring. Careful money management is essential for long-term stability, even for top-earning athletes.
Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well? Or just these kind of fights that's going on?
You need money.
Damn.
Yeah, when you need money. This is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball, or they play basketball. It's a better deal.
Max Kellerman criticizes Floyd Mayweather for mismanaging his wealth, highlighting his excessive spending on luxury cars, watches, and gambling. He emphasizes that flaunting money without careful planning leads to financial instability. Kellerman notes that many athletes face similar issues, often retiring with little to show despite earning millions. He stresses that even top earners must handle their finances wisely, as indulgence and impulsive purchases can quickly deplete fortunes. Floyd's habits serve as a cautionary example, illustrating how constant extravagance and neglecting investments can create long-term problems, forcing even legendary athletes to confront financial challenges later in life.
Whoever lived, not everyone, but most of them, is they wind up going broke at a certain point, right? First of all, taxes, child support, all that kind of stuff, that promoters, this and that, and then just the way you spend your money. Could be bad investments. You could try to do the right thing and wind up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, the 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class still.
Wade Plemons reports that Floyd Mayweather has already received a cash advance for his upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite the fight still being uncertain. He questions how this is possible, noting that while some upfront payment to secure a fight is normal, providing the full purse beforehand is unusual. ESPN and Mike Kopinger have both confirmed the advance. Plemons explains that Mayweather has a long history of taking advances and leveraging fight promotions to protect his 50-0 record while still earning money. He cites past examples, including exhibitions against Deji and Logan Paul, where Mayweather demanded massive payments or threatened not to fight. Plemons warns that these actions may now lead to legal trouble, as Pacquiao's team claims Floyd signed 3 separate contracts for a professional fight, has been paid multiple times, and has taken an additional cash advance, demonstrating a clear pattern of financial maneuvering that could result in lawsuits.
Now, random Twitter person reporting this, I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji, I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of money or he wasn't going to fight Deji while he was at the venue. And they wanted to change gloves and do all this stuff. And I think they actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions. And obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how
Jason Whitlock highlights widespread rumors about Floyd Mayweather's finances, including bankruptcy, selling property, and running out of money, which some say explains his Mike Tyson fight. He notes that Mayweather spent enormous sums living in Las Vegas, trying to maintain a flashy lifestyle and appear relatable while flaunting his wealth. Whitlock criticizes this approach, calling a cautionary example of the dangers of living for appearances, prioritizing image over financial prudence. Now at 49, Mayweather is returning to the ring, illustrating the consequences of overspending and mismanaging money despite his prior success and status as a boxing icon.
Floyd Mayweather, him auctioning off property, him being in bankruptcy, him being out of money, and that's why he's going to fight Mike Tyson. Saw this incredible tweet where a guy listed all the things Floyd Mayweather wasted money on while living in Las Vegas and just living for the culture. That's what Floyd Mayweather is an example of. The stupidity of living for the culture and trying to be relatable and trying to be this incredible icon or example of, look how much money I've made. He's blown it all, and now at 49 years...
Paulie believes that Floyd Mayweather's controversial remarks could actually become the fight's biggest selling point. By making bold statements and sparking debates, Floyd draws attention, ensuring more people discuss and watch the fight. Paulie suggests that all of Mayweather's comments, whether about the fight being an exhibition or a professional bout, might be part of a strategy to generate hype. This controversy-driven attention increases public interest and pay-per-view sales. Essentially, the more people debate and react to Mayweather's words, the more popular the fight becomes. Paulie implies that Floyd may be deliberately stirring the conversation, using public outrage and curiosity as a marketing tool to maximize viewership and revenue.
If it's a fight, I think one of the comments the other day really made a point that, one of the comments in our chat made a point that, has really stuck with me. Mayweather has to know the terms he agreed to. Come on, I mean, you can't just sign something and not know those terms. You gotta know that if it is, in fact, it has to be a fight, then he would do this. And he knows he's got to go through with a fight. He may just be saying this just to sell the fight in general, just to sell it as, make it a talking point, make it a controversial point, so that people want to wind up, talking about it more. It becomes a topic of discussion, and then from that perspective, people end up watching. More people end up watching it because it becomes more of a polarizing topic of conversation. So I don't know. I see this eventually getting straightened out. I think it has to. I mean, Floyd has to fight right now. I think Mayweather probably wants